Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be learning how to make this underbust corset. If this looks like what you love to learn, continue watching. If you're new here, I am Lillian. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please click the subscribe button, also turn on the notification bell so that whenever I put up a new video you'll be notified. Let's get started. For material, you are going to be needing about a yard of thick and non-stretchy crepe. So we are going to mark our starting line, and then this starting line is going to be our underbust. Remember, we are making underbust corset, so the starting line, wherever you mark it, label it as your underbust. All right, so my underbust is 13 inches. So I'm going to place my tape at exact that point at 13 inches. Do the same, and then I'm going to come down by my waistline or half length of 16 inches. So just as you can see me do, I'm taking it also to the back because it's going to be the same thing with the back. Next thing I'm going to do, from my waistline I'm going to come down by 9 inches as my waist to hip length, and then I will take it to the back, then create my hip line and then label it out. On your hip line, you are going to go in by your nipple to nipple divide by 2. Mark it on your waistline and then your underbust as well. Then go ahead and then create your dart line like so. After doing that, you are going to come over to your waistline. You are going to take 1.5 inch as your dart intake. So you can divide 1.5 inch and then mark it on both sides. Just fold 1.5 into 2 and then mark it on both sides as you can see me do. Go ahead and then create your dart by connecting like so. Then come over to the underbust, go add by half inch on both sides as your dart intake and then connect like so. Then the next thing you are going to do is to come down by 5 inch from your waistline. This is going to be our corset length. All right, so after doing that, you are going to come over to your hip line, your round hip circumference divided by 4, mark it on your hip line. Then come over to your waistline, your waist circumference divided by 4, then do your dart replacement. I have 1.5 inch there, but I'm going to replace just 1 inch. All right, everything I have in total is 1.5, but I'm replacing just 1 inch. So the remaining half inch is going to be for my waist cinching. All right, I'm just going to connect like so, and then come over to my underbust, impute your round underbust circumference divide by 4. So your round underbust circumference, whatever you have, divide it by 4 and then also replace your dart intake. So hope this is clear enough. So I'm going to connect like so, and then the next thing I'm going to do now is to add my allowance. Remember, when it comes to allowance, is on you. So to the down I'm adding half inch, and then to the side I'm going to add just 1 inch. For the back, from your waistline, you are going to mark out the corset length. Remember, it's 5 inches that we did at the front, so repeat the same thing at the back. Then from your center back, go in by a few inches. This is going to serve as our allowance. Then from your waistline, go in by half inch as you can see me do, then connect it to the top and then bring it down to your hip line like so. So after doing that, go in by your nipple to nipple measurement, divide by 2 as usual, mark it, and then go ahead and then create your dart line like so. After doing that, for our dart intake, we are going to go in by half inch on both sides. All right, and then mark the same thing at the top. So you are going to connect and then bring everything down to your hip line as you can see me do. All right, and then after doing that, we are going to go ahead and then you are going to go in by your waist circumference, divide by 4, so you are going in from the ½ inch you went in with. All right, so mark your waist circumference divided by 4. Mine is 7. You can see where I marked it from, and then I'm going to mark my hip circumference also, divide by 4 on my hip line, and then on my underbust, sorry, I'm going to repeat the same thing. My round underbust divided by 4, then I'm going to connect. You can actually see that at the back I didn't replace my dart intake, so because that is going to be for cinching. But if you want to replace, note that you can actually replace if you want to. So it depends, individual differences. If you are not comfortable with anything that is too tight, please do it to replace your dart intake. So I'm adding my allowance. I'm just going to add my allowance round. This is my zipper allowance. Then I will add the side seam and then cut out. The next thing we are going to do, from the hemline, we are going to go up by at least 1½ inch, because we are going to make the back length shorter. All right, the back length needs to be shorter. So come over. Remember, you also have to make up for it at the side so that it will align. So go up by 1½ inch, as you can see. Then I'm going to go ahead and then rule it out. All right, so I'm going to add my allowance. I already started cutting at this point. Please pardon me for that. Add your allowance then before you cut out, as you can see me do. All right, so just cut out on both sides, and then the 1½ inch you went up with on the side front, you are going to take your curve ruler and then just blend in. We are just trying to make sure it align with the back. That's the only thing we are doing. Just align it, and then remember to also add your allowance as well. Always check to be sure that the length is actually equal with the back, with the side back. Then go ahead and then cut out. So go ahead and then cut out on your fabric. So this is it. So for the front, I cut out the lining and the main piece. I'm using my crepe as the lining and the main piece. Then for the back, I cut out just the lining. All right, so I'm yet to cut out the main piece, because the main piece is going to be like a hole. We are not going to have it in piece. We are not cutting it in piece like we did center back and side back. Instead, we are cutting everything together as the back main piece. So what I'm going to do now is to pin down both the side back and the center back. So just join by ½ inch, then bring in the center front and then the side front as well. So you are joining by ½ inch. Do the same thing with the lining. So just pin down and then join by ½ inch on both sides. Repeat the same thing on the lining as well. So you are going to bring in the back piece, and then you are going to place another fabric on fold. Then place the center back and the side back together, and then you are going to cut them. Remember, we went in by ½ inch, so there is no way you can actually straighten this up. So just cut it out exactly the way you are seeing me do. Pin down and then cut out. We are just following the style inspiration that we saw. So that's the thing that we are doing here, trying to recreate it exactly the way I saw it here. So just go ahead and then cut out. Join everything together. Also join the center back. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll bring the whole piece back. So this is it after joining. All right, so I'm going to bring in this particular piece of it, and then I'll place it like so, and then I'm going to cut off the excesses. All right, so I'm just going to cut off the excesses. So you are going to bring in another pattern paper, place it on fold the pattern paper, and then you are going to bring in your center front and your side front pattern, trace it out and then cut out. We'll place it in another pattern paper, just as you can see me do, and then you are going to go in by 1 inch. Remember, we are joining by 1 inch. All right, so mark out 1 inch, and then because of the 1 inch allowance, so bring in this, bring in the front piece. So as you can see, we need to go in a bit more. All right, so the pattern that we trace out is actually bigger than our main piece, so I will have to cut off the excesses. After joining, you can see that the pattern I actually cut out is bigger than the main piece that I have, so I have to cut out. So instead of that 1 inch, I'm going to go in by 2 inches. All right, so one as the same allowance, then one as where the structure is going to start from. So from that point, I'm going to mark 4 inch. I'll go up by 4 inch, and then I will see what it will give me. I will just reshape it back to the side like so. So please watch my ruler placement. So I don't think this is actually high enough. I'm going to go up by extra inches. So I'll add extra ½ inch and then see what it will bring out. So I'm trying to actually give it like a curve because of the inspiration. So I'm going to take it in. Okay, this is 1 inch, please, not ½ inch. So in total, what I have there is 5 inches. So go ahead from that point, just slant it to the hemline like so. I'm going to measure what I have here and then tell us what it is. It's roughly 5½ inch. So just go in by roughly 5½ inch and then just slant your line to that point. So at this point now, for the structure, for what we are having at the front, from your waistline, come down by 8 inches. All right, this is going to be the length of the structure we are going to have at the front. Connect it to the side, as you can see me do, with a curved ruler. All right, so after connecting, go ahead, add all the necessary allowance and then cut out on your fabric. So this is how it's going to sit on it. So what we are going to do now is to cut out on our fabric. So I already cut out, as you can see. I added the hairstay on both the main piece and the lining. So we are going to go ahead and then add our ridgeline bone or sewable boning. So first of all, you are going to mark out at least ½ inch as your seam allowance. All right, so when you're done, go ahead and then add the ridgeline bone. So I will do that, and then this is it. As you can see, remember you are adding it to the lining part. So all you are going to do now is to bring in the main piece, place it right side facing the right side, and then you are going to join by ½ inch and then turn it out at the side and iron out. All right, so this is it. After doing that, as you can see, I already iron out. So what we are going to do now is to bring in the center front, all right, the main piece and the lining. You are going to place it right side facing the right side, then join by 1/2 inch at the top and then at the down, turn it out on the side and iron out. So I will do just that and then bring it back. So this is what we have here. All right, I already joined and then I turn out. So I'll place this to the side and then I'll top stitch it at that point. So I'll set it aside, and then for the back piece I'm going to also join by 1/2 inch at the top and then at the down, then turn everything out. So this is it after doing that, and then this is it for the front piece. So what I'm going to do now is to place it like this, right side facing the right side. I'm going to go ahead and then pin down. All right, so I'm going to pin down. When you pin down, you're going to go ahead and then join by whatever allowance that you added. If it was 1 inch, join by 1 inch. So I will do just that and then I'll bring it back as well. So this is it after doing that. All you are going to do is to come over to the side, go ahead and fix your zipper. So this is it. As you can see, I went ahead to also add press button to it. So this is the end of this video. If you find it helpful, please like, comment and share. Thank you so much. I will see you in my next video. Bye.